New developments in the Gilgo Beach murder case. Long Island investigators seizing more evidence, including nearly 100 guns after arresting the suspect accused of murdering 7 women whose bodies were found more than 10 years ago. Our next guest is credited for pushing to solve this case when he took over and says he won't stop until justice is served. Suffolk County Police Commissioner Rodney Harrison is here. Great to see you back in New York City where you used to work.
That's right. Thank you for having me.
So you live right by where this happened. I mean, where you call home. It's a mile from my house. You just told me one thing's incorrect. It's over 100 guns.
Yeah. It's over 200 guns. He had an arsenal in a vault that he had downstairs. So it's concerning regarding the guns being registered or illegal or not. That's something that we're still taking a look at. But anytime somebody has that type of arsenal, we have some concerns.
You've linked him for sure with 3 or 4 deaths.
We have him for 3, and we're definitely looking at a 4th one.
Now that you have his DNA, how long will it take before you find out if he's responsible for others?
Well, it's hard to tell. It depends on the type of evidence that we recovered from, be it other victims, and how much intact it is, so we can match his DNA to anything else that might have not just happened in Long Island, but maybe somewhere else as well.
The Avalanche is the car that you were looking for. You find it in Massapequa. Yeah. You realize that this is likely your guy. When did you realize this is more than just a possibility? It's him. And how long did you follow him before you grabbed him?
Yeah, so we found out the Avalanche was connected to him in around March, maybe early April. And then we started diving a little bit more deeper into who this individual was. We found out he was an architect and some other things. And then we were able to do some phone records and some other background check with how he uses his credit cards and look at his family. And he has a wife and 2 kids and just his lifestyle. And we started getting closer and closer, saying, hey, this may be our person. And speaking to Detective Lieutenant Kevin Byer, who oversaw the task force, who did a phenomenal job, and I want to thank my partners that helped us out. We were able to get him into custody before he hurt somebody else.
How hard was it to follow him, knowing this is the murderer?
Yeah. So,
and not grab him because you had to wait.
Yeah. So we had to be careful. The one thing we didn't want to do is have what's called get raised. If he knew that people were following him, then anything could happen from there. He could try to flee the country and a host of other things.
Because you heard the report in the New York Post from a woman that said he was approached at Brady Park in Massapequa, and she was on a bike, and she said when the arrest was made, she goes, that was the guy. So he could have been ready to act again.
Listen, there's a lot more stories out there. I can guarantee that. That's why I'm asking people to call our Crime Stoppers hotline. Anybody has any information, more information about.
He's a distinctive-looking guy.
That's right. He's an ogre. Listen, 275 pounds, 6'6". He's a big human being, but I'm very, very glad that we were able to get him off the streets.
The decision to reconstitute the Gilgo investigation, what went into that, and what made you think we could unfreeze this case? So
when I became the Suffolk County Police Commissioner, one of the first things I did was sit down with my homicide lieutenant, and I asked him to brief me on the case. This is something that I learned from the NYPD, is challenging our investigators. And Kevin Byer knew this case cold. I mean, he was living this case daily. The one thing that I was uncomfortable with is he was still catching other cases. So that's when I said, hey, listen, give me your best guys. They're not going to catch any more cases. They're going to be assigned to a task force, and they're going to make sure going forward their main focus is looking at Gilgo and putting some fresh eyes on it.
And you did, and it paid off.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner, I look forward to talking to you again because I think you're pretty much sure we're going to have many more revelations.
A lot more work needs to be done.
Absolutely. All right, Commissioner, thank you.
Thank you.